Welcome, Wildcat fans. I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I am broadcasting live from Central City, where the Wildcats are hosting the Edco Vikings in a girl-boy Tri-Rivers Conference doubleheader tonight. Before I get talking more about tonight's game, I want to recognize our sponsor, Next Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, welcome fans. We're getting ready here for the opening, for the starting lineups, I should say. Real quick, while we're waiting for that, we've got the Central City Wildcat girls coming into tonight's game with a 9-7 record, and they are taking on, again, Edco, and Edco is coming into tonight's game. For the girls, I think they're like 1 in, man, Edco's coming into tonight's win. I thought I had this written down, but I must have forgot to write it down. So I guess I'm not sure what their record is. I did not do a good job of writing down what their record was, but I can find it here quick. While I'm coming back to that, just real quick, coming into tonight's game, the Wildcats are being led. The Wildcats are coming into the season 9-6, and they're being led by junior Sarah Reed, who's averaging 14 points a game and 6 rebounds a game. And coming in behind her is senior Emma Fritcher, averaging 9 points a game and leading the team with 7 rebounds. And I'm going to take a break for the national anthem. All right. So there is the national anthem. And starting for the Wildcats is going to be Emma Fritcher, and then Sarah Reed, Noonan, Briley Brooks, and Emma Tritle. Those are going to be the starters for the Wildcats. Edco's out here. As I think Edco's coming into tonight with like 1 or 2 wins. So hopefully the Wildcats here can get a big W. We get it inside to Fritcher. There's a reach. They don't call anything. They get it outside to Sarah Reed for a 3. No good. Rebounded by Edco there. And Edco's bringing it up into the front court. They work the ball around. They get it to the elbow, and it's blocked by Fritcher. Natalie Noonan's got it, looking up the floor. Brooks in the corner to Noonan. She dribbles, gets it to Brooke at the top. Over to Tritle. Tritle's looking around. Looks like Starmont's going to be in a, looks like maybe a a 1-2-2 zone, maybe 2-3 here. So the Wildcats are being patient, working the ball around. Get it to Sarah Reed at the free throw line, and she's got the first 2 points of the game. Wildcats showed some really good patience there. The Edco girls are being led in scoring by Ella Alls at 14 points a game. And then after that, it's just a bunch of single-digit people. There's a shot attempt, and it's blocked by the Wildcats, but it's picked up by Edco. And there's another shot, but it's going to be rebounded by Reed. She gets it up the floor to Briley Brooks, who got out, and Briley's going to be called for traveling. She should have just went strong with the ball, but she kind of hesitated, and they called her for a travel there. So Edco's going to bring it up into the front court. They're working the ball around. Wildcats are in a 2-3 zone. There's a cross-court pass nearly picked off by Noonan. And there is almost a steal by Natalie, but she's not able to control it. So Edco's going to take the ball again, and Wildcats stay in that 2-3 zone. They get it in, and they kick it back out. And now they find an opening down low, and they're going to call Sarah Reed for the foul there. So Sarah's going to pick up her first foul. So we're at 5:44 here left in the first quarter. And it's 2-0. Wildcats are up. And Edco's going to go to the line. And the first free throw is no good. So we'll wait here for the second free throw. And that's no good, and there's a rebound by Reed. And she gets it to Noonan. Noonan swings it over to Treidel. Treidel's looking in here. Maybe a 1-3-1 zone, it looks like a little bit there, I guess. Noonan gets it to Brooks. Brooks is going to shoot a three-pointer at the top of the key. And it's long, and it's going to go out of bounds, and the ball's going to go over to Starmont. Starmont's going to bring the ball down. They get it inside to Fritcher with the steal, but then it's knocked out of her hand. And it's swung around. The Wildcats are still in that 2-3 defense. Briley Brooks on the defense. Emma Treidel comes up, and there's going to be the steal tipped by Fritcher. Noonan picks it up. Gets it into Sarah Reed, who brings it into the front court. She dumps it down inside to Fritcher, and it's going to be 2-point basket and one. They're going to get it. Edco for the foul there. So we're going to have a sub here for the Wildcats. We've got, let's see here, Hannah Kramer came in. And Bailey Weber in for the Wildcats. And Fritcher's free throw was good. So Fritcher makes the score 5-0 for the Wildcats. And Edco comes down, throws the ball out of bounds, so the Wildcats are back on the attack again here. Wildcats again trying to, now it looks like maybe, yeah, it looks like a 1-3-1. Some kind of a zone here that Edco's in, and we find Sarah Reed in the corner, and she knocks it down. So Sarah Reed with two. Yeah, it's 4 points for Sarah. Now the Wildcats are doing a little bit of a full court press here. Passes over the top, and they get it into the front court. They get it inside, kick it back out, and there's 3 points for the Edco Vikings. So it makes it 7-3 with 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Noonan to Weber, back to Weber, and Weber lets it fly, and it hits the backboard and goes over the backboard. It went over the backboard, and so it's going to be Edco's ball. Coach is talking to the official about something. Not sure what that's all about, but Edco's got the ball. They're going to bring it into the front court. Wildcats in their 2-3 zone. Edco moving the ball around the perimeter. Reset it at the top. There's a little penetration, and she pulls up at the free throw line for the shot. No good. Rebounded by Reed, who kicks it out to Bailey Weber. And nice job of looking up the floor by Reed. Gets it up to Weber. And there's 2 more points for the Wildcats. 9-3, 3:15 here to go in the first half. And Wildcats are building a lead here. There's a pass inside. They kick it back out, and they're working it around here. Skip pass. Wildcats doing a good job of moving in their zone. Identifying the shooters. Reed coming out. There's going to be a drive by 13, and she gets it to drop. Nice drive. Bailey Weber has it back in the front court here for the Wildcats, and Natalie Noonan drives and turns it over, and Edco's going to come back, and Weber with the block. And Natalie Noonan, good job of hustling back, and then they're going to call a jump ball. And there's going to be a turnover on Edco, travel. So we are going to come back here into the front court. Wildcats, again, 1-3-1 zone, and there's Hannah Kramer gets the pass and lets it fly. Saved by Bailey Weber. Good hustle by Bailey, and then good hustle by Fritcher. And then Fritcher hits a cutting Sarah Reed. I've seen that before. Those two really do work well on the high-low there. And there is a basket for Sarah Reed to give the assist to Fritcher. Coming back down here in defense, the Wildcats. They get it inside, and the shot is up and no good. Fritcher clears the boards, the leading rebounder for the Wildcats on the season. She gets it to Sarah Reed, who brings it up and drives, dishes it out to Weber. Weber thinks about it. Now she dribbles up to the top of the key, swings it over to Hannah Kramer. Kramer down to Lacey Hennick, who checked in. Sorry, I didn't see her check in. She bounce passes it into Fritcher, gets it to Weber at the top of the key for a three-pointer, lets it fly, no good. Kept alive by Reed, and then Fritcher grabs it, puts it up, misses, and gets her own rebound and puts it in. Wildcats are really working hard there on the inside. And that makes it 13-5, Wildcats. Edco comes right back here, working the ball around. They get it inside, kick it out. And there's a drive, nothing there, and kept alive by the Wildcats. Hannah Kramer comes down with the rebound. Fritcher gets it into the front court, gets it into Weber. Weber's going to dribble the ball around, gets it to Kramer. Kramer passes it over to Weber. Weber gets it to the baseline to Reed. Reed surveying things, gets it inside to a posting up Fritcher. Fritcher makes a nice move, shoots the ball with her left hand, but just can't get it to drop. So it's 40 seconds left in the first half. Edco's just walking the ball up the floor. I don't know if they're thinking about the last shot or just get the shot what they can. They're going to get it inside. Lacey Hennick knocks the ball away, but it rolls to the Edco. She gets a three-point look, no good. Rebounded by Reed. She gets it up to Weber, who hits Hennick. And Hennick could have been called for the foul there on Hennick, but she finishes. So Lacey Hennick, who has not gotten a lot of playing time this year because she had knee surgery, has done a good job to come back and gets her some points. And now she gets a steal. And it is 15-5 after the first quarter. Pretty good first half here for the Wildcats. All right, and I'm going to get a shout out here to Next Bank. Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned, independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, so we first quarter in the books. Wildcats are doing a good job, 15-5. Both teams playing a zone defense. Wildcats trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out, I think it's a 1-3-1, and then they kind of collapse into a 2-3. I don't know if they're trying to take anything away. Reed's done more damage on the outside than she's done on the inside. I've got Sarah leading the way with 6 points, and right behind her is Fritcher with 5 for the Wildcats here in the first quarter. So we're going to come back out here, and Edco is going to start. And they're going to start the second half, and Wildcats kind of extend out that defense a little bit. Edco gets the ball into the corner, and there's a three-pointer. So the Wildcats are going to come. There's a steal. Briley Brooks tries to hit Sarah Reed in the corner, and it's a turnover. Edco's bringing the ball up into the front court. 15-8 here to just starting the second quarter. And there's a near steal. Oh, there is a steal. Almost 2 steals by the Wildcats. But we weren't able to secure it, so Edco keeps the ball. And Wildcats in that 2-3 zone, putting a little pressure there. Bounce pass inside, and the shot goes up, and it's kept alive by Edco. And they're going to drive, and there's a block. Oh! Down inside, it looked like somebody got molested down there, and then I thought that was a clean block on the elbow, but they called that on Briley Brooks, it looks like. So Brooks gets her first foul. So nobody's in foul trouble. They've called 2 fouls on the Wildcats, 1 foul on Edco, so team fouls 2-1. Nobody's in any foul trouble. First free throw is good. And Natalie Noonan brings the ball into the front court. There's Briley Brooks, who's going to drive. Nothing there. She's going to get it to Natalie in the corner. They get it up to Emma Treidel at the top of the key. She gets it to Sarah Reed in the corner. And they get it inside to Emma Fritcher. And Fritcher, nice pass by Sarah. And Fritcher's able to convert. 17-10, Wildcats up. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Wildcats stay in that 2-3 zone. Edco moving around. There's a drive and a runner, and it's good. And they're going to call foul on the Wildcats on that one as well. It was a tough call if you ask me, but they called that on. They call that on Briley again. So Briley Brooks has just picked up 2 quick fouls. Picked up 2 quick fouls here. Put Edco at the line. They got the old-fashioned 3-point play, so it's 17-13 after that first quarter. Edco's come out, and they're kind of outplaying the Wildcats here. Looks like Edco switched to a man-to-man, and there's a nice drive by Briley Brooks. Oh, great layup. Hits the backboard, goes in the rim, and comes out, and it is going to be a jump ball. So luckily it is going to stay with the Wildcats. That was a great drive, just couldn't get it to finish. And the Wildcats are going to pass it in. They get it to Brooks. She thinks about it. She's going to drive. Again, Edco has switched to a man-to-man, so I'd like to see the Wildcats attack. There's a 3-pointer by Treidel. She gets her own rebound. And let's see, I feel like we could have a mismatch with Emma Fritcher inside. And then Natalie Noonan gets her pocket picked here, and she gets hustled back, and there's a miss on the layup, but Natalie's going to be called for the foul. So Wildcats got kind of feeling pretty good about themselves there in the first quarter, and now we're kind of struggling here in the second quarter. So 17-13. That's 4 team fouls now here for the Wildcats, and 1 on Edco, and there's that free throw. Wildcats are putting the putting the Edco Vikings to the line here. Second free throw is going to go up, and it is no good, and rebounded by Fritcher. Fritcher gets it to Weber. Bailey Weber's back in, and Natalie Noonan's going out. There's Brooks, gets it into Fritcher, cuts, nothing there, but then she hits a cutting Sarah Reed, who uses the glass in that left hand and knocks it down. Nice shot there by Sarah Reed. So we're going to come in here to the front court. Wildcats stay in that 2-3 zone. Edco's checking things out. They get in a nice acrobatic move there by Edco. Get it to drop, so it's 19-16 here. Wildcats need to get that defense going again, getting some stops. There's Bradley Brooks into Sarah Reed. She's looking for Fritcher, nothing there. The ball's stolen, and we're coming the other way. And there's nothing there. Edco girl took off and was just kind of hanging in the air and lost control of the ball. And the coach wanted a foul, but it was a good strip. And the Wildcats, in the meantime, come down and they get a basket on the other end. And now we are in the front court. It's 21-16, Wildcats up. And there's going to be a block by Fritcher, and they get it out to Weber, and they're going to say on the active shooting. They could have called that almost on the floor, but they're going to say that she was in the act. And that other shot happened so fast, I don't even remember who made the basket, so I'm going to be off here a little bit. And looks like there's going to be a timeout, Edco. And it's 4 minutes and 8 seconds left. It's 16-21 here in the second quarter. And Next Banks is your bank for what's next, your next car, next home, next business, next phase of life, or next adventure. 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, there's the bell coming out of this timeout. All right, so should be Wildcats ball shooting free throws. And Bailey Weber misses the second shot. Oh, that almost was double dribble. Edco kind of does a sideline fast break, and Wildcats do a good job of getting back. And there's going to be, a near steal by Hannah Kramer, who's checked in. Tipped out of bounds by the Wildcats, so it's going to stay here. And Edco takes it out of bounds, and they've got to drive that zone. We're playing a zone, so normally zones take away that drive, but the Wildcats just are not making number 13 give the ball up. I think that's their leading scorer here. So Wildcats are in the front court going against the man-to-man. No, there's a nice give and go, and Sarah Reed misses an easy 2 points there for the Wildcats. Nice pass from Fritcher. Hopefully we'll come back to that. 22-18 with 3:22 left here in the second quarter. Wildcats up. Wildcats are in that 2-3 zone. Edco's moving the ball around here, and they deflected there. Emma Fritcher, nice job on defense of deflecting it. Sarah Reed picks it up, gets it into the front court. Sarah stops, jump stop, checking around here. Wildcats reset, going against a man-to-man this second quarter. Hannah Kramer with the ball. Nobody's defending her. She drives, stops, gets it to Bailey Weber. Bailey Weber gets it to Reed. Reed takes a couple dribbles, stops and pops. Sarah Reed there gets her 10th point of the first half. 24-18. We got 2.5 minutes left to play. Wildcats staying in that 2-3 zone. Edco moving it around here a little bit. They're going to trap Wildcats, but now they get it back to the corner, and they're trying to get it inside, blocked by Fritcher. And there's a scrum for the ball, and Hannah Kramer comes up with the ball. Fritcher blocked it, but just couldn't secure the rebound, and then Hannah Kramer did get the rebound. So Wildcats are on the attack. Treidel over to Weber. Weber to Kramer at the top of the key, and they're going to reset here. Bailey Weber looking for something, hands it off to Treidel. Treidel, there's a cutting read, doesn't see her. Fritcher has the ball on the wing. They get it to Weber. Wildcats are being really patient here on their offense, which is good to see. And the Edco goes for the steal, and Bailey Weber did a good job of using her body and causing contact, and it's going to be a foul there. So it's the first foul on Edco, or I believe they called that on 13. That's the third team foul. There's a shot by Bailey Weber, no good. Rebound, Edco. So it's 24-18. We've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds left. There's a long pass into the corner, and that's going to be out of bounds. It's not a really very good idea there. Wildcats are going to have about 1:12 here. Hopefully they can get a couple buckets here, get a couple defensive stops. Sarah Reed steps out from the elbow, stops, pops, no good, and they're going to call Lacey Hennick for a foul over the back there, knocking on that rebound. Edco walks the ball up into the front court. We're under 1 minute to go. There's a deflected pass, but goes to Edco. Then Lacey Hennick steals the ball, takes it right away from Edco, gets it up to Natalie Noonan. Natalie with the missed layup, rebounded by Kramer, I think that was. And I think it was rebounded by Bailey Weber, and she shot it, missed it, and then there was a jump ball, and it's going to go to Edco. So the Wildcats had a good shot there to add to their lead. Hopefully they can get a stop here. 20 seconds to go. They get it inside. Turn. Oh, wow. What a cheap call on Sarah Reed. That's going to be, I think, unless they call a reach, with 23 seconds left. Oh, they are calling the reach. Looks like they're calling that on, oh, no. Who? Oh, they called that on Lacey Hennick. So that's Lacey's second foul. Lacey just picked up 2 quick fouls. So 23 seconds left to go. Edco's at the line, 24-19. Shot's up, and it's good. So let's see if the Wildcats can't maybe play for the last shot here. 24-20. There's a pass into Reed, who misses the layup, nearly rebounded by Noonan. They kind of shot that a little early, and now they're going to call another foul on a Wildcat, which was a silly foul because, is that Lacey Hennick? Lacey just has come in this last less than 15 seconds and has gotten 3 fouls. And the bad thing is that you're putting Edco at the line. You may have fouls to give, but those aren't very smart fouls. So Briley Brooks is going to check in for Hennick. And there's a missed free throw, luckily for the Wildcats. So there's 8 seconds left. Let's see if the Wildcats can't get something. They get it up to Weber. She gets it to Reed. Reed is bumped, gets it into Hannah Kramer, who's like under the basket, and count it. Hannah Kramer was literally under the basket, and she threw the ball up, and it went in right at the buzzer. So the Wildcats will take that. And that's 26-20 at halftime. So not the best half Edco definitely outplayed us there. That second quarter, I think it took us a little bit when they switched to that man-to-man, but it seems like the Wildcats are starting to figure things out. It's just a matter of now getting some of those shots to drop. I've got, again, this is unofficial. I've got Fritcher with 7 points in the first half. And I have Sarah Reed with 10. And then Hannah Kramer with 2. Weber with 2. And Hennick with 2. I think Bailey Weber had 1 free throw, so I'm going to give her another point. So I'm going to unofficially give her 3 points. And then I do know that I missed a basket someplace, so I'm off 2 points. So there is somebody who has 2 extra points, but I'm unofficial here. So going into halftime here, we're 26-20. Wildcats up. So I feel like Edco got a little more aggressive there that second quarter and started knocking down some of their free throws, which they missed early on, and as well, they were driving and taking it to the basket. And the Wildcats didn't seem like they did a very good job of stopping that penetration, which is kind of one reason that you play a zone. So hopefully Wildcats can talk some things over and get things figured out on that defensive end. And then offensively, we've really been able to do what we want to do. We've just missed some easy buckets here again on this. Once we switched to man-to-man, we've been able to get some good cuts and some drives to the basket. We've just missed some easy shots. So hopefully the Wildcats can come out and, if Edco stays in that man-to-man, be able to get those shots to drop. All right. So if you're just joining me, it's 26-20. At halftime, we're at halftime. I want to just take this opportunity here. I've mentioned this before when I've announced some games that wrestling is going on, and I didn't get records from all the wrestlers, but I will say that there was a girls' state wrestling tournament, and we had 2 wrestlers who participated. Eva Owens is a senior, and Lexi Hennick, who is a freshman, and they both competed. Last year it was in Waterloo. I don't know if it was in the same spot again this year, but anyway, Eva went up there and in her weight class ended up getting 5th place out of over 60 wrestlers, and she improved on her finish from last year. She was 7th last year, so Eva having a nice season and doing a good job of improving on her state finish from last year. And then Lacey Hennick participated as well, and in her weight class she finished 7th out of, again, over 60 wrestlers. And congratulations to Lexi, who is, as I mentioned, is a freshman. So we'll see how things go with her as she continues on with her wrestling career. As you can tell, that the girls wrestling, the sport of wrestling, has really gained in popularity, and the people that participated, or the number of participants, has steadily grown. And the girls' state tournament, I was able to catch a little bit of just some highlights on the news, and there was quite a few people up there. And as I mentioned, just in those 2 weight brackets that Eva and Lexi participated in, there was over 60 wrestlers in just those 2 weight brackets. And I'm assuming they have this close to the same amount of wrestling brackets or weight classes as the guys. So I mean, you're talking close to 10 different weight brackets. So that's a lot of wrestlers. So congratulations to them, and as Eva finishes up, they'll have then the regular districts and sectionals. That's both guys and girls here. That'll be coming up in the next couple weeks, and we want to, wish good luck to all of our wrestlers, and also, again, congratulations to Lexi, and as she continues on as just being a freshman this year. So good job to the wrestlers and good luck to the wrestlers. And speaking of moving on, I was just going to talk a little bit here about the schedule, the remaining schedule for the Wildcats. So we're playing Edco tonight. And then next week, we travel to Mac Valley on the 1st. I think that's a Monday game. We're going to be at Mac Valley. Then we have, then on Tuesday, it's going to be East Buck. And that's going to do it. Oh, I'm sorry, East Buck. And then the following Monday, I believe, or is that Friday? So next week, the girls wrap up their season. They've got Mac Valley on Monday, I believe, and then they have East Buck on Tuesday. So both of those are away. And then they're going to finish their season on Friday of next week against North Lynn. That'll be the last home game in the regular season. And probably next week, or maybe even it happened today, I didn't have a chance to look, but the pairings for the tournament should be coming out here pretty soon. So we will be checking that, and we'll be posting that information so fans can follow when the Wildcats will be, where they'll be playing and who they'll be playing. So technically, even though Friday is the last regular season home game, we potentially could have another home game in the tournament. So again, we'll just have to wait and see where we get sent, who we got to play, if we get a first round bye. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So it'd be nice to see the Wildcats at home one more time after next Friday. It's always nice. But what we will try to do is we will try to broadcast the tournament games if it works out with availability and depending on where they are. David's back in school, so I don't know what his availability would be during the week, and I'm actually coaching junior high boys basketball, and so some of it will be availability. We'll just have to see, but we'll try our best to bring you those tournament games. Speaking, I guess I can talk about this. We've got 2.5 minutes to go here. Junior high boys basketball has started, and we've gotten a couple games in. And the 8th graders are off to a 2-0 start. They beat Starmont in their first game and just beat Springville yesterday. And we'll be back in action next week. Have games Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. The 7th graders had a tough loss against Starmont in their first game out. And then they came up short again yesterday against Springville. But again, there's 6th, 7th graders. They're few but mighty, working hard, trying to get better. So the other thing, I'll just mention this, is that we do have the NFHS broadcast. Now we've had that now for a couple years, and that's a video feed, but it's a paid service. You do have to sign up for it, and you do have to pay for it, but you get access to all home basketball games during the volleyball season, volleyball games that happen in the new gym. So yesterday's game, when the junior high boys, we played the majority of our games in the new gym so that parents and grandparents and friends have access to the NFHS, I believe is what it is. So anyway, that's one way you can watch them, because obviously we have the limitations due to COVID as far as who can come in and watch the games. And as far as just kind of giving NFHS a shout out, also with your paid subscription, you can watch all the home football games because we have cameras set up out on the football field as well. So you can watch home football games, all the home basketball games for the high schoolers for sure, because they always play in the gym. And then most of the junior high games will be played in the new gym so that they can also be broadcast. And that goes for the girls too. And unfortunately, the girls are done with their season. That was before Christmas. So we do try to bring all the high school and junior high sports. It's not just high school. So anyway, we can talk more about that here. We are getting ready to tip off for the second half. Looks like the Wildcats are going to go with the same starters that they started the game with. Nobody really is in foul trouble. Briley Brooks does have 2 fouls, and Lacey Hennick, coming off the bench, does have 3 fouls. Wildcats are going to start the second half with the ball, and it looks like Edco's going to stay in that man-to-man. Wildcats had a set play and looked for a pick, and now they're going to come back and run it on the other side. I like the action that the Wildcats have. Sarah Reed gets the ball, and her girl drops off of her, and Sarah says, well, I'll shoot that. So Sarah starts the second half with 2 points. That puts it up to 28-20. Wildcats up. Wildcats are going to stay in that 2-3 zone. And there's going to be a steal by Fritcher, and she's going to push the ball up the floor herself, and she's going to, well, I thought she was going to take it all the way. She stops, gets it to Reed, passes it inside to Fritcher, and Fritcher passes it back outside to Reed. There's going to be an assist to Fritcher, so Sarah Reed's got two quick baskets here to start the third quarter for the Wildcats. Nice start, gets the score up to 30-20. I like that. Edco's checking things out, and they want to try to get it inside, and Fritcher puts up that long arm of hers and gets a deflection, and Sarah Reed picks up the ball, so the Wildcats have another steal, and they're coming here into the front court. Trital dribbles, looks. There's going to be a shot from the wing by Reed. Kind of rushed that a little bit, but she had a good look, feeling it. Just couldn't get it to drop. So the Wildcats are going to come back and play a little defense, and there's a bad pass, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to come back to the Wildcats. Natalie Noonan bringing the ball up. Looks like Edco decided that they are going to go back to their zone, and they get a turnover, it looks like. So switching up their offenses and defenses here on the Wildcats. Wildcats adjusted to the man, and now they're going back to their zone, and they get a turnover, and they're working the ball around, and they try to lob it inside, and it's mishandled, picked up by Brooks, and it's 30-20. We've got 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. Wildcats in the front court. Brooks looking around, nothing there. Again, they went back to that 2-3 zone. Nice look inside, but just deflected into the last second there. Good defense by Edco. So they're going to get the steal. Edco walks it up into the front court. And they're going to get it inside at the elbow. They kick it back out, and they get a three-pointer. Wildcats didn't adjust to get over there. Natalie Noonan brings it up. Tridle's checking things out. She looks, passes it over to Brooks. Brooks thinks about it, dribbles, gets it back to Reed. Reed's at the top of the key. She's looking over to Tridle in the short corner. There's Noonan. She pump fakes, drives, tosses it up. Nothing there. And Edco with the rebound, and we're going to come the other way. 30-23. Wildcats up. You got about, and there's going to be a long three-pointer. No, not there. Tridle with the rebound. Tridle's going to push it. Gets it to Noonan. Over to Brooks. She thinks about it. Nothing there. Again, Edco switched it back to the zone, and now the Wildcats are struggling with that a little bit. They did great against the zone in the first quarter, so Edco switched to man-to-man. Wildcats struggled. They come out at halftime. They got things figured out, and now Edco goes back to the zone. So we'll see if the Wildcats can adjust their mentality and get back into that rhythm against that zone offense. And there's going to be a shot in the corner. Tridle with the rebound, and they're going to call foul on that rebound on Edco. So that's the first team foul on Edco this quarter. And Hannah Kramer is checking in along with Bailey Weber. So we've got Fritcher and Noonan and Weber and Kramer and Reed in. Weber's with the ball, looks inside for Reed, nothing there. Kramer's going to dribble, gets it over to Noonan, back to Weber. Weber drives, gives it to Kramer. Kramer's going to drive, kicks it back out. They get it to Reed, and she puts it up just inside the three-point line. No good. Still maybe a little bit outside of Sarah's comfort range there as far as being automatic. And Edco had the rebound, and they get it into the front court, and they called a timeout. So we'll take this opportunity. It's 3:45 left in the third quarter. It's 30-27, Wildcats up. And I'm going to give a shout out to Next Bank, our sole sponsor for the Wildcat Sports Channel here. Next Bank is a financially strong community bank. Invested partnerships help their customers achieve what's next for their financial dreams. Next Bank has 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, so Wildcats come out here on fire and kind of had that look at that man-to-man and kind of struggled. Had some good looks in the second quarter, just couldn't finish, and then they talked about it at halftime, obviously, and the Wildcats came out and did a great job, got a really fast start, and then Edco has now dropped back into that 1-3-1 zone, and now the Wildcats are kind of struggling a little bit with that. So we'll see if the Wildcats can't get things figured out and kind of get things going here again. 30-23. Edco's got the ball. Edco's working it around. Actually, now it looks like the Wildcats come out into a man-to-man. There's a deflection, but the Wildcats can't get it. But this time there is a deflection. Fritcher has it, and she's going to end up giving it up. She gets it into the front court. And work it around. Noonan with the shot at the elbow, no good. And then on the rebound, Wildcats get the rebound, or Edco got the rebound, but it was stolen. Wildcats then give it right back, and the ball goes inside, and Fritcher with the block, and then she's going to get the rebound, but it's going to be a jump ball, and it looks like it's going to stay with Edco. So Wildcats, good hustle for Fritcher to get back and get that block. On the inbounds pass, they let it fly, hits the side of the backboard, but Edco picks up the rebound, and no good on that second attempt, and it cleared by Natalie Noonan, who gets it to Sarah Reed, who brought it into the front court. Now the Wildcats are moving the ball. Hannah Kramer in the corner finds Sarah Reed. There's Sarah's shot. About 10, 12 foot out, knocks it down. So it's 32-23. We got 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Edco just walks the ball up the floor. They're in no hurry, even though they're down. They're moving it around on the wing. Wildcats looks like are staying in that 2-3 zone. I thought they might have went man-to-man, but it might have just been the way that it looked. And there's a long rebound over Noonan's head. Offense rebound. There's another reach over a Wildcat, but Wildcats aren't getting any bodies on them on the rebounds, but luckily Edco can't get anything to drop. Wildcats get it into the front court. They get it to Sarah. Sarah's looking for Fritcher, and there's Fritcher with a nice cut and nice pass. Fritcher and Reed look for each other all the time. That's nice. High-low little action there. There's Fritcher's first 2 points of the second half. Fritcher's been doing a good job on defense inside. Again, Wildcats kind of extending their defense, and there's going to be a long three-pointer, no good. Goes over Sarah Reed's back. Hannah Kramer goes for the ball and is knocked down. It looks like it's going to be Wildcat basketball. The ball is tipped out of bounds by Edco on that rebound, and we've got a couple subs, and we've got a 30-second timeout by Edco. So with 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, it's 34-23. Wildcats are up. And I will give another shout out to Next Bank. From your first checking account to your first car, first mortgage to retirement, and all the money matters in between. Next Bank people relate because they're your people. They are in your community, sitting beside you at the kids' games, working local fundraisers, and shooting the breeze at the grocery store. Start building the banking relationship of a lifetime with Next Bank, conveniently located in Central City, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, and Coralville. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, so Edco's coach saw something he wanted to talk to him about, took a quick 30-second timeout, and we're coming back at it. So it's going to be Wildcat basketball, and we'll see. Looks like Edco's going to stay in that 1-3-1 zone. We got Bailey Weber bringing the ball up. Emma Fritcher's in. We've got Hannah Kramer, Sarah Reed, and Emma Treidel has checked back in. There's Reed. Oh, that's a nice look on that high-low, and there's Fritcher for another basket. Give the assist to Reed. So nice ball movement by the Wildcats. Wildcats moving their zone up. They're staying in the 2-3 zone, but they're kind of matching up a little bit, almost in a man-to-man concept. And they tried to get the ball in over Sarah Reed, and she jumped and deflected the pass, but it goes out of bounds, so it's going to stay Vikings basketball. Lacey Hennick has checked in to give Hannah Kramer a breather. So now we've got Hennick, Fritcher, and Reed in. And there's a pass inside. Nice defense by the Wildcats, stolen by Sarah Reed. She's going to bring the ball up, picks it up, gets it to Fritcher. Fritcher's looking, and then she hits a cutting Sarah Reed. Sarah gets too far underneath the basket, so she gives it to Bailey Weber, and Bailey Weber is going to knock down a three-pointer. Give the assist to Reed on that one. That puts it up to 39-23, so we've got a little flurry. And there's another steal by Fritcher. Fritcher's doing a great job on defense tonight. She's got a ton of steals or deflections. Wildcats have Sarah Reed bringing it up into the front court. Bailey Weber gets it over to Lacey Hennick, who's in. She's checking things out. She dribbles, skips it over to Weber, gets it to Treidel. Treidel's going to pull up for a three and hits the side of the backboard, no good. But Sarah Reed is there, gets the offensive rebound, misses, gets her own offensive rebound, and then puts it in. So nice job with Sarah to be there on that rebound and then to stick with it. So Wildcats come out and have a big third quarter here. At the end of the third quarter, it's 41-23. So defensively, we really picked up. I like what they did. They stayed zone, but they brought the defense out, and they almost matched up like a man-to-man and really put some pressure on Edco, and Wildcats ended up only allowing 1 3-pointer is all they gave up. And then the Wildcats come out and score 15 of their own points. So 41-23 here as we go into the final 8 minutes of this contest. I like what I see there. Sarah Reed's had 8 points that quarter, and Fritcher chipped in with 2, and Weber had that 3-pointer there. So we like seeing that. All right, Wildcats come out of the huddle here, going to get ready for the fourth quarter. It's going to be Wildcats basketball. It looks like Wildcats have their starters back on the floor. It looks like Reed, Fritcher, Treidel, Briley Brooks is back in, as well as Natalie Noonan. So Wildcats have their starters, Natalie Noonan, and it looks like now Edco has switched back to man-to-man. So let's see if the Wildcats can recognize that and get their cuts going. Oh, and there it is. Pass to Fritcher, and backdoor cut by Sarah Reed, and Fritcher finds her. So there's a basket for Reed. Give the assist to Fritcher. And there's a near steal by Fritcher on the defensive end. And actually, she causes the turnover. She gets a hand in there and knocks it away. And it's going to be Wildcat basketball. So we've got a couple subs here coming in. Still got Fritcher on the floor. It looks like we've got Bailey Weber, Briley Brooks, Hannah Kramer, and Emma Treidel are out on the floor here for the Wildcats. Sarah Reed's getting a breather. Weber brings it into the front court, gets it to Treidel. Treidel dribbles, looks, picks her dribble up, gets it to Brooks. Gets it over to Weber. Weber drives in the middle, throws up a runner, no good. Rebounded Edco. And Edco's going to come the other way. And there's a drive, but it's deflected away by Fritcher, picked up by Brooks. Brooks is going to come the other way, and she's, oh, yeah, she didn't come to a jump stop. She did the same thing in the first half. She just needs to go up with the shot, and she's not going up with the shot. She's trying to stop, and she's not coming to a jump stop, and then she's dragging her pivot foot. Looks like she got bumped around and down inside, so now she just went out. I think she hurt her ankle there, so I don't know if she got her ankle stepped on or if she got pushed and twisted a little bit. So she's out, and it looks like Natalie Noonan's back in. Natalie with the near steal. isn't able to get it. And there's the ball deflected by Weber. The Wildcats are really being active on defense, even though they're in that 2-3 zone. I like seeing that. So we're down to 6 minutes and 25 seconds left. Wildcats working tough on defense. There's a 3-point shot attempt by Edco, and it's no good, and it is tipped out of bounds by Edco, so it's going to be Wildcat basketball. And Sarah Reed is checking in for Natalie Noonan. So we've got Reed, Kramer, Treidel, Weber, and Emma Fritcher out on the floor. And again, Edco has now switched back to their man-to-man, so we'll see if the Wildcats can continue to. They're doing a really good job of passing and backdoor cuts. And Bailey Weber dribbles, nearly loses it, picks it up, gets it up to Treidel, who resets things here in the front court. Wildcats are doing a really good job of moving. And nice screen by Hannah Kramer, and Treidel takes it all the way to the hole and gets a bucket there. So there's Treidel, gets 2 points. And again, Wildcats, there's another steal by Emma Fritcher. She gets it ahead to Treidel. Treidel's going to take it all the way on the left. Oh, and they don't call foul. She got pretty much mugged. Oh. And so they're going to come back the other way. And there's a pass to the inside. They kick it outside for Edco. Hits the front of the rim. No good. And, oh, they're going to say that it was knocked out of bounds by Sarah Reed, it looks like. Only one foul called in the second half. One foul called. So the Wildcats are going to stay in that 2-3 zone. Edco's going to take it out of bounds. I like how active the Wildcats have been in that zone. Especially the second half. First quarter and then really the second half, they've done a really good job of being active in that 2-3 zone. Knocked out of bounds by Treidel, but it's going to stay Edco's ball. And there's Emma Fritcher again with a near steal. She got a deflection, but it went to the Edco player. And they get it inside, missed. And yeah, that time off of the miss, the Edco knocks it out of bounds. And Wildcats are going to get the ball here. We've got 4 minutes and 59 seconds left. It's 45-23. Wildcats are up. It was a 6-point game at halftime, and the Wildcats have really come out and have only given up 3 points so far in the second half. There's a nice entry pass into Fritcher, and she hits a cutting Sarah Reed for the 2-point basket. That was really nice. Wildcats have just taken advantage of this man-to-man and with a lot of backdoor cuts. There's a bad pass, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be Wildcat basketball. We're at 47-23 with 4.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Wildcats have really come out this second half and taken control of this game. And it looks like Edco's going to go back to a 2-3 zone now. They've been playing a 1-3-1, and then they've played some man. Now they're going to try 2-3 zone. And there's their high-low. Gets it to Reed, and then she gets it over to Weber. Weber misses the 3-point shot. And on the rebound, Edco, but it's knocked out of bounds by Treidel, but it's going to stay with Edco. Got some subs coming in here. Noonan checking back in. Edco's going to walk the ball up the floor. They've shown no urgency, and they do get it into the front court. Wildcats staying in that 2-3 zone here, really being active in the second half, and the Edco coach calls a timeout with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go. 47-23 Wildcats up. And we'll give a shout out to Next Bank. What are you saving for, whether it's retirement, your child's education, a new car, or just a rainy day? Next Bank has the right savings account for whatever's next for you. Next Bank's committed to help you achieve what's next for your financial dreams. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, so We've got 47-23. We've got just over 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats have really come out here and have only given up 3 points. They've given up 1 3-pointer to Edco so far this second half. So they've really pushed their defense out, and they have really extended the defense, and they have really gotten aggressive with that. And that's really been the difference. They've just gotten deflections and tons of steals, and Edco's just kind of went cold. They haven't been able to get any shots to drop. So Wildcats again coming out, being aggressive in that 2-3 zone, looking almost a trap. Edco moves the ball around, gets it inside. It's going to be blocked by Reed, rebounded by Fritcher. And they're going to push the ball up into the front court. There's Sarah Reed checking things out. Wildcats moving the ball around. Bailey Weber with the ball. And there's a long shot by Kramer, in and out. There's a shot, and there's a scrum underneath the basket for the rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball. All right, so it stays with Edco, and they're going to get it in. We've got just over 3 minutes to go. Edco's going to stop and pull up for a three-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound, they let it fly, just chucked it up there and railed in and out. Well, Wildcats have played good defense, but Edco just hasn't gotten anything to drop. Edco, it looks like they're maybe going back to their man. I don't know. They look a little confused on defense here. They've got a couple different substitutions in. Sarah Reed tries to hit Sarah Fritcher, but it's kicked, so it's going to stay with the Wildcats. Wildcats have Hennick, Reed, Fritcher, Weber, and Natalie Noonan in on the floor with 2:47 to go. It's 47-23. Wildcats up. Natalie Noonan's looking for Reed at the elbow. She skips it over to Weber. Weber with a two-pointer. And Edco's moving the ball up here. And it's going to be a bad pass, and it's going to go out of bounds. Lucy Smith's going to be checking in for the Wildcats. She's going to check in for Sarah Reed. Sarah's checking out. I have Sarah with 26 points. That's unofficial. So we got 2:25 here, 49-23. Natalie Noonan bringing it in. Cross court to Bailey Weber. Down to Lacey Hennick, who's in. Skip past to Fritcher at the top. She's going to drive. She dishes it out to Hennick. Hennick gets it up to Weber at the top of the key. Good ball movement by the Wildcats. Weber. Hennick checks things out. There's Fritcher out on the wing. Not sure that that's Fritcher's spot out there, but I think Lucy Smith is in. Looking inside to Lucy. Again, Wildcats just not any urgency to score. They are up 49-23. We're going to bring in a couple more subs. So it looks like we got Lexi Hennick checking in, as well as Belle Whitson. And we've got 1:48 to go in the game, and we're up 49-23. And again, Edco has scored 3 points the second half. I'm not going to give all the credit to the Wildcat defense, but they did really do a good job of really increasing their aggressiveness on that 2-3 zone, and that really bothered Edco.